It is Sunday, the 15th of February, day after St. Valentine's Day in 2015. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church, Montreal. I'm just beginning my protest against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy, which include, but are by no means limited to, the fact that Unitarian Universalists, specifically top-level UUA leadership, such as UUA President Reverend Dr. Peter Morales, former UUA Executive Vice President Kathleen K. Montgomery, and other top-level Unitarian Universalist religious leaders have seen fit to try to misuse Canada's blasphemy law to cover up and deny the fact that certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, to say nothing of certain Unitarian Universalist religious educators, are guilty of engaging in what Stikeman Elliott, barristers and solicitors litigation lawyer, describes as such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. So I'm going to pick up these picket signs and start walking back and forth as one is supposed to do when protesting, and we'll just continue the monologue here. Looks like another person going in. We'll have a couple of freestanding picket signs here. You use censor and suppress critics. So a little bit of wind here today, so I may have to rearrange things. In any case, if I jam this under the bush, it might stay in place. Unitarian perversion of justice, sucks you asterisk you. You know, those two picket signs, you use censor and suppress critics, and Unitarian perversion of justice, sucks you asterisk you, predate the attempted misuse of Canada's blasphemy law to try and cover up and deny the fact that some Unitarian Universalist ministers are in fact guilty of engaging in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. Indeed, they've been convicted of committing such despicable crimes and sent to jail for doing so. So it's just ludicrous for the Unitarian Universalist Association to falsely accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for allegedly making unfounded and vicious allegations to the effect that ministers of the association engage in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape, when in fact the few cases that I did blog about were very well documented cases where the Unitarian Universalists in question were actually convicted. Now, I didn't blog about unsubstantiated rumors, as you know, some people would try to pretend. I was very careful to blog about cases that were public knowledge and where the people had actually been convicted. And yet, the Unitarian Universalist Association, you know, pretended that my blog posts were unfounded, when in fact they were anything but unfounded. So anyway, that's the main issue I'm protesting today, because it is, you know, one of the most outrageous perversions of justice that the Unitarian Universalist Association and the greater Unitarian Universalist religious community is guilty of. And you know, it is a fact that you know, the people most responsible are leaders of the Unitarian Universalist Association in Boston. But the fact of the matter is, you know, I have brought this perversion of justice to the attention of many other Unitarian Universalists since that accusation was made, and they don't seem terribly concerned. They don't seem to be upset or angry that their leaders would misuse blasphemy law to cover up and hide the worst forms of clergy sexual misconduct. Nope, they seem to be in deep psychological denial. They seem to have a high degree of willful ignorance, indifference. You know, they really don't seem to care. The vast majority of Unitarian Universalists who I share this information with do their very best to close their minds to, you know, the actual situation and its implications. So here we are protesting because Unitarian Universalists can't get their act together and take steps to ensure that somebody at the UUA faces accountability for this shameful legal bullying. In fact, all UUA trustees are aware of this situation. They've been asked to ensure that President Morales and his administration are held accountable for this legal bullying, but of course they haven't done so. On the contrary, they've totally ignored every email I've sent to them over the years, and I've sent them a fair number. In fact, I sent an email on Friday, a little reminder that they haven't dealt with this issue, to say nothing of various other issues, since having it brought to their attention over 2 years ago now. I recently read that at the last UUA Board of Trustees meeting, which was in January, mid-January, the UUA Board of Trustees evaluated Reverend Dr. Peter Morales' performance as president of the UUA. I take note of the fact that they did this in an executive session. In other words, an in-camera secret session. They did not do this out in the open. They did not openly discuss, Reverend Dr. Peter Morales' performance. They did so in secret. And in the end, they decided that it was satisfactory. I believe that's the exact words or word that I read in the UU World News report. So it's satisfactory. So I guess according to the UUA Board of Trustees, current edition, it is, good morning, it is satisfactory that UUA President Peter Morales hired, thank you sir, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been windy today. So hired Stikeman Elliott though. I think it was quite helpful. Tried to put my picket signs back that had blown down. I'm just getting these gusts of wind. It's not like a steady wind, but every now and then it gusts and knocks down a picket sign. So we'll just try and make them a little bit more less likely to fall down. So anyway, getting back to the monologue here, I'll just, while we're at it, I'll just make sure this camera's still running, because with the cold weather, yeah, there we are. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. Nul besoin de penser comme l'autre pour s'aimer l'un l'autre. This is a French version of Francis David saying, we need not think alike to love alike. That will be around the corner there on the other side of the wayside pulpit, or as I like to call it, the wayward pulpit. So yeah, here we are. This is the English version. We need not think alike to love alike. Yeah, quite famous and quite ancient Unitarian saying from Francis David from the 15th century, if I'm not mistaken. It's all about, not having to have the same beliefs or same opinion to nonetheless love one another. And it's true enough. The problem is, of course, is that Unitarian Universalists do a terrible job of living up to the letter and the spirit of that saying. They're rather too quick to condemn people when they're really not deserving of any condemnation. Rather too quick to get angry, censor and suppress people when they say things that they basically don't want to believe. I mean, I've never said anything that's untrue about the Unitarian Church of Montreal or the Unitarian Universalist Association. Everything I've said is supported by plenty of evidence, or at least the vast majority of what I've said is supported by plenty of evidence. So I haven't said anything that's not verifiable. And yet, the Unitarian Church of Montreal, the Unitarian Universalist Association, numerous individual Unitarian Universalists have gone to extreme lengths to try to silence me over the years. Well before falsely accusing me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel for telling the truth about Reverend Mac W. Mitchell and Richard Buell. I had been repeatedly censored and suppressed by both the Unitarian Church of Montreal and the Unitarian Universalist Association. They're basically very, very unloving when people have a legitimate grievance about something. They do their very best to sweep it under the carpet, pretend it doesn't exist, intimidate the person into silence, and if they can't intimidate the person into silence, then to actually, take steps to silence them, punish them. If they can't silence them, well, they punish them for, their speaking about their grievances and so on. Anyhow, as I said,